The year is 1995, and America's teenagers are at the mall.
So, what should we do first? You've never been shopping before, have you?
Not online, not on TikTok, not even texting. They're walking in herds past Wet Seal, eating cinnamon sugar pretzels, getting dropped off by their moms in minivans that smell like Capri Suns and Backstreet Boys CDs.
It's good to have goals.
This was the promised land. 2,500 malls across the U.S., a $1 trillion ecosystem of escalators, food courts, and air-conditioned dreams.
I guess we might as well finish up here. When I find her, I want her to go, wow.
A generation fell in love in these halls, fought with their parents in front of Hot Topic, got their ears pierced at Claire's, and their hearts broken at Cinnabon. The American Mall wasn't just a place to shop, it was the place.
Okay, that test was woo!
A sanctuary, a second home, a status symbol for entire suburbs. And then, almost without warning, it wasn't. Fast forward to 2025. More than 75% of America's malls are dead or dying. Foot traffic has plummeted. Entire wings are barricaded with plywood and sad signages that say, "Exciting changes coming soon." There's nothing coming. Some malls have been turned into pickleball courts, others into homeless shelters. A few just sit there, giant empty husks echoing the sound of their own collapse.
Oh no, what happened?
How did the most beloved American hangout spot turn into a retail graveyard?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone?
To answer that, we have to
Rewind!
Because before the Amazon vans, before the pandemics, before TikTok reprogrammed the teenage brain, there was a dream. And for a while, it worked.
Oh my God! Wow!
It all started with air conditioning. The year was 1956. The South Dare Center opened in Edina, Minnesota, the first fully enclosed, climate-controlled mall in America. A revolutionary idea.
That's good.
Why shop in the heat, the rain, or the snow when you could browse stores in year-round, fluorescent-lit comfort? It was designed by Victor Gruen, an Austrian architect who imagined malls as modern town squares. He wanted places for people to gather, not just consume. Public fountains, gardens, even libraries, surrounded by retail. America, of course, heard shopping indoors and ran with it. By the late 1980s and early 90s, malls were everywhere. Over 2,500 across the country.
That is huge.
And they weren't just for buying stuff. They were destinations. Need a dress? Go to the mall. Bored on a Saturday? Go to the mall. Break up with your girlfriend? Go cry in the Orange Julius seating area like a normal person. The architecture was wild. Glass ceilings, faux Greco-Roman columns, indoor carousels, roller coasters in some cases. Mall culture exploded. Movies like Clueless and Mean Girls immortalized them.
She's not going out with anyone.
Mall tours made or broke teen pop stars. Mall Santas were a national institution. Entire towns were built around malls. Some cities measured economic health by parking lot size.
That's huge.
And at the heart of it all, the anchor stores. JCPenney, Macy's, Sears. They weren't just stores, they were temples.
May God bless us all!
They kept the smaller tenants alive, bringing foot traffic, credibility, and most importantly, rent subsidies. It was a well-oiled machine until it wasn't. By the early 2000s, malls had hit their peak, and Wall Street wanted in. Private equity firms started buying up mall properties like they were Pokemon cards. Simon Property Group, Brookfield, General Growth, billions of dollars poured in. The logic was simple. Malls print money. Developers expanded aggressively. They didn't just build malls, they built super malls, mega malls, lifestyle centers. you'd walk out of one Banana Republic and into another 2 blocks away. In New York, they built Destiny USA, 6 stories high with over 250 stores and a ropes course. In New Jersey, they resurrected the long-dead Xanadu Project and renamed it American Dream. The name itself felt like a challenge. And for a while, it worked. From 2001 to 2008, retail expansion was non-stop. Malls added luxury wings, Apple stores, Tesla pop-ups. The economy boom. People spent. Retail therapy was a lifestyle. But behind the marble fountains and Swarovski kiosks, something felt off. Because Amazon was watching, and people were starting to click. The cracks started small. Maybe it was the empty food court table that never filled up. The once packed Claire's now permanently under renovation. A forgotten water fountain turned into a planter for dead ferns. By 2015, the cracks were too big to ignore.
All right, that little stunt you pulled was very close to crossing the line.
The golden age of the American mall was buckling under the weight of digital disruption and shifting consumer habits. In 2016, Macy's announced it would close 100 stores. By 2018, Sears, once a symbol of retail dominance, had filed for bankruptcy. In 2020, JCPenney followed, brought down by years of declining sales and a final blow from the pandemic. One by one, the anchor stores fell like dominoes, leaving behind empty corridors and echoes of a dying era. And when they went down, they took everyone else with them. See, malls ran on what's called the co-tenancy clause. If the anchor store left, smaller retailers could break their leases. Why stay in the mall if the department store that brought in all the foot traffic is gone? Suddenly, malls had entire wings that looked like something out of The Walking Dead. And then came 2020. COVID slammed the already bleeding beast with a steel bat. Within weeks, malls became ghost zones. Foot traffic dropped 47% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Consumers ranked malls as the least safe shopping option. Even when lockdowns lifted, the crowds didn't come back. They were already somewhere else. On their phones, on Amazon, on TikTok. Because during the chaos, e-commerce did what malls used to do best: make buying stuff feel like a dopamine hit.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Click, confirm, done. No parking lot.
Hey, you can't park
No, he's
there.
right there. Tell him.
No, sorry, we're out of your size. No fluorescent lights that make you question your life choices.
Why, God, why?
Just prime shipping and push notifications. By the time 2021 rolled around, more than a dozen major retail chains were on life support. Malls weren't just struggling, they were becoming irrelevant. And what did the landlords do? They pivoted. Kind of. This is where things got weird. Mall owners knew they couldn't compete with Amazon on price or convenience. So instead, they tried to make malls cool again.
I don't know what it is, but you have got it.
You walk into a once bustling Sears, and now it's a zombie laser tag experience? That old Abercrombie, now an indoor axe-throwing bar. In New Jersey, they spent $5 billion building the American Dream Mall. Now the mall is worth $2.5 billion. It has a Nickelodeon theme park, an ice rink, a ski slope. You can buy Crocs and ride a roller coaster in the same 10 minutes. Guess how much debt it's carrying? Over $2.8 billion. Tax-exempt municipal bonds, approximately $1.1 billion, comprising around $800 million backed by payments in lieu of taxes, pilot agreements, roughly $287 million backed by sales tax collections, private construction loans, over $1.7 billion in construction financing from a private lending syndicate led by J.P. Morgan Chase. Meanwhile, other malls turned to pop-up museums, VR arcades, medical clinics, drive-through COVID testing centers where Auntie Anne's used to be. Westfield Valley Fair in California tried to pivot to luxury.
Her Majesty, Queen Clarice.
But even Gucci can't survive next to an empty Gap and a Chick-fil-A that smells like nostalgia and recession. Developers rebranded their properties as mixed-use lifestyle destinations, which is developer speak for please just show up and do something. Some even tried digital gimmicks. One mall launched a branded NFT series. Another installed a metaverse showroom that no one asked for. They were throwing darts in the dark, and the one thing they didn't try, making it affordable. Because here's the thing, mall culture didn't die because kids stopped liking malls. It died because everything inside them got worse. Overpriced, overstaffed, overbuilt. And no one wanted to admit the magic was gone.
How? How?
I don't know.
But by 2023, they couldn't hide anymore. The collapse was here. Destiny USA, once the pride of Syracuse, New York, 200 stores, indoor go-karts, a 6-story atrium, lost a significant number of visitors since 2019.
Where is everyone?
It defaulted on a $300 million mortgage. Woodfield Mall in Illinois, approximately 6% vacancy as of late 2024, the lowest rate since 2019. Its assessed value has declined by about 33% since 2013. And yet, mall websites still promised exciting new experiences coming soon. You click on them, it's a spirit Halloween. Then another headline hits. 25% of America's remaining malls projected to shut down within 5 years.
No. Wait.
That's at least 175 malls gone. Retail employment down 100,000 jobs. Cities losing millions in tax revenue. Schools, fire departments, libraries, all feeling the ripple. In 2024, analysts warn of a mounting commercial real estate debt crisis, driven in part by dying malls, rising interest rates, and vacant retail anchors. While exact figures vary, billions in retail property loans are coming due, and some major malls, like Destiny USA in New York, have already defaulted. The mall collapse isn't the whole story, but it's a loud part of it. The economic engine that once symbolized American prosperity is now a liability. And there's no grand announcement, no final ceremony, just silence. The food court chairs are still stacked, the security guard still does his rounds, but there's no one left to secure. And yet, the websites are still online. They logged in like nothing happened. If you go to some of these malls' websites today, they still look like it's 2006. Bright pastel logos, stock images of happy families holding Old Navy bags, drop-down menus labeled events and sales. Spoiler, there are no events, there are no sales. Just empty corridors and a guy named Bill watching the parking lot from a folding chair. Meanwhile, cities are scrambling. Some turn their dead malls into housing developments. In Austin, a mall became a church. In Nashville, one turned into a police station. In Ohio, someone just straight up bought the mall to turn it into his house. Seriously, he lives in it. And as surreal as that sounds, it makes a twisted kind of sense.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because for decades, the mall was more than a mall. It was a gathering place, a cultural touchstone, the backdrop of teenhood. Now, it's a symbol of overbuilding, of bad bets, of a version of America that couldn't adapt fast enough. and no amount of digital signage or fake optimism can cover that up. What we lost wasn't just a place to shop, it was a place to be. The mall was where you went when you didn't know where else to go, a space between childhood and adulthood. You weren't buying anything, you were just existing. You met your friends there, you fell in love there, you got dumped in the parking lot next to the movie theater and walked it off in the glow of a neon Auntie Anne sign. It was chaotic, awkward, beautiful. And yes, it was corporate. It was commercialized, it was built on consumerism. But it was also ours, and now it's gone. We didn't just lose a hangout spot. We lost one of the last physical spaces where different kinds of people could exist together without needing a reservation, a membership, or a password. The mall was messy, loud, imperfect, but it was real. And no app, no virtual showroom, no metaverse hangout is ever going to recreate what it felt like to walk past the glow of a GameStop window at 13 years old, clutching your own crumpled $10 bill like it was the key to the universe. The fall of the American mall wasn't just economic, it was emotional, cultural, generational. And maybe one day, someone will figure out how to rebuild that kind of space again, without the food court grease and the Cinnabon air. But until then, we're left with memories, and maybe a dead mall near your hometown echoing back the sound of what used to be.